Okay, we're on Bounce Around Charleston, and welcome back here today. Something that we really need to talk about, the awareness of kidney disease. And we have Dr. Thaddeus Bell here, along with Brian Mack, to talk about this disease that's affecting our community. Welcome to Bounce Around Charleston.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Bell, tell us about kidney disease.
Well, it is a health disparity, and by that I mean we have more African Americans being affected by kidney disease than any other group of people. The other folk that are affected by it are Hispanics and American Indians.
I was reading here that there are over 500,000 people awaiting a kidney transplant. 500,000?
500,000, and that probably is a conservative figure, but we have a significant number of people who are awaiting kidney transplants right here in Charleston, South Carolina.
And so yearly over 20 to 30,000 people will probably receive a kidney transplant.
Right.
What happens to let a person know that this situation is affecting their lives?
Well, the signs and symptoms can be very subtle. But when you begin to experience swelling, sometimes a change in skin color, sometimes a change in appetite, those are almost the signs that are very, very telling and are at the end of kidney failure. Hopefully we'll get to patients before they develop those signs so that we can perhaps save the kidneys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brian, this story is about you. And you heard what Dr. Bell was stating.
Yes.
What happened in your life?
Well, as a teenager, my family doctor explained to my parents and I that there was protein in my urine, and he referred me to a nephrologist where he diagnosed me with chronic kidney disease.
Mm-hmm. What are your normal activities during the day? Has it affected that?
At the onset, it did. Because I was born with lots of complications, and those complications resulted in me later on, after having discovered this, having lots of surgeries to try to fix or make me dialysis appropriate or dialysis ready. Mm-hmm. And so those surgeries did affect my activities, yes.
Mm-hmm. So what are the things that you're doing now to help you in the situation?
Namely, just diet modification, lifestyle modification, eating healthy, staying healthy in general, even in my mind and as well as my body.
Mm-hmm. How old were you when this was discovered?
I was 20.
And how old are you now?
27.
So 7 years you've been dealing with this situation.
That's right.
Dr. Bell, is that uncommon?
No, that's not uncommon at all. We were just talking, and he does have a very strong history of hypertension. Hypertension is one of the main causes of kidney failure. Mm-hmm. And by that I mean uncontrolled blood pressure that's not treated for a long period of time. Now, it's not that uncommon to find hypertension in a young African American 20 years old. We do that all the time. We make that diagnosis all the time. The problem is convincing the young person that the diagnosis is true and that they will have to be on medications to keep the blood pressure under control and to keep the high blood pressure from burning up the kidneys. And
so you're on high blood medication?
Yes.
And you've been on it for quite some time? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I need to ask now, are you following all of the instructions of the doctor?
I am.
And a person must do that?
A person must do that. You must not be in denial. You must recognize that, if you don't take the medication and if you don't follow the doctor's advice, that you will be on you will have chronic renal failure and perhaps even die at an early age if you don't do what what the medical experts are asking you to do. The other thing I want to point out too is that diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and drug abuse are some of the most common reasons why young African Americans develop chronic renal failure.
Okay, so now you're on the list to receive a kidney transplant.
We're in that process. Yes.
You're in that process. Okay, so what happens when you're on the list?
Well, when you're on the list, you are evaluated. For an example, at the medical university, they evaluate people. They find out, why you have diabetes, and they do a complete medical workup. And then they recommend that you do some things. They have a list of things that you must do, and they monitor you to see whether or not you do those things. If you do those things and prove to them that you're a good candidate, then they will put you on the list. And when a match becomes available, you have to be available if they call you to come in and get the kidney.
Is there a window?
Yes, there's usually a window of 24 hours.
24 hours.
24 hours. They give you a beeper, and they tell you that if you go out of town, that you got to stay in touch, so that if something comes up, a kidney comes up, you have to, you'll be available. I just had a patient who was out of town, and his beeper went off.
Okay.
And he got back here in the window to have the kidney transplant take place.
Okay, so there's an event coming up to raise awareness.
Absolutely.
Tell us about the event.
The event coming up, it's on February the 27th.
Okay.
The doors will open at 3 p.m. and the concert will start at 4 promptly. It's an event to raise awareness about kidney disease and also raise funds for the cost of the transplant that Dr. Bell was just talking about that I wish to have.
And the concert will be held where?
Bethlehem Baptist Church on Guatemala Island. It's 1945 Liberia Road on Guatemala Island.
And some of the performers will be?
We've got some local favorites. Miss Crystal Brown Hayward is going to be
she's been on his
performing.
show.
Yes, absolutely. Elijah Goodwin and Remnant will also be singing on that day. Let's see, Tony Brown and Revelation. Lots of local names that are going to come out and support the
And don't forget the Edisto District Mass Choir.
Absolutely, under your directorial
What
ship,
you
sir.
say. We will be there also. And that's at the Bethlehem Baptist Church, 1945, Liberia Road on Guatemala Island, Saturday, February 27th. Doors will open at 3. And ways to support the cause. You can also contact them at P.O. Box 1395, Johns Island, South Carolina, 29455. Or you can go to www.ucaring.com, Brian Mack, 510669. Thank you all for being here in Bounce Around Charleston as we raise awareness to kidney disease.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
We'll be right back after this break.